Hi everyone, this is Brian Larson again. I made a video yesterday showing the unboxing of my new late 2016 15-inch space gray MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. And I got some comments and some messages asking me about the USB-C ports that are on the MacBook and if I would kind of follow up a little bit with that. So I wanted to make a quick video and show a comparison between the two. Just quickly, I'll say that having used the 2016 MacBook now for a day, I like it a lot. It's very quick. It's impressive in terms of battery power or battery life. Just everything about it is a significant step up from the late 2013 MacBook Pro that I bought before. It's not significantly lighter if you do a side-by-side comparison here. It's really not dramatically lighter. So those are considerations. If you're looking for something that's going to be especially light and easy to carry around, then you should probably be looking at the 12-inch MacBook, or even the 13-inch Touch Bar MacBook Pro is significantly lighter. I guess they're not going to be making the Air anymore, but that's a consideration. But I'd say the number one concern that I have at this point, that probably people aren't really talking about a lot. Yes, I mentioned that you have to get these dongles, these USB adapters. I purchased two USB-C to USB adapters because if I'm using an external hard drive, which I do, or I'm connecting to Logic Pro through an audio interface. For now, those all just have regular USB ports. And I also got a USB-C to Lightning cable so I could charge my iPhone easily and connect that way. But my concern is, so here's the USB-C cable, here's the new MacBook. When I plug in the dongle, you'll see there's a tremendous amount of resistance, and then it goes in. It's very difficult, and then pulling it out, I have to really put a lot of energy into it, and it really feels like maybe the lifespan of that port could be a challenge. I haven't seen specific data on the USB-C port. I've read reports that were published in Mac Rumors and a couple of different sources about concerns over the iPhone 7 having just the one Lightning port for charging, for data connection, for headphone adapter, and people were commenting that the lifespan of that port might only be X number of thousands of connections. If so, that's probably a concern with the MacBook as well. If you move this around a lot and you're going to be using these dongles because you haven't moved to Bluetooth or wireless technology yet, I would be a little concerned with that. And likewise, with the dongle, it's an even harder connection to remove whatever, if you're using the USB-C to USB, to connect and remove whatever it is that you want to connect to it. It's really kind of a rough connection that I wonder about the lifespan on. So just to further clarify, the only ports that the new MacBook has, 4 USB-C, one of which is going to have to be reserved for charging, and a 3.5 millimeter standard headphone jack. For comparison's sake, late 2013 MacBook Pro had the MagSafe connector, USB 3.5 millimeter, a couple of Thunderbolt ports, another USB, an HDMI, and an SD card reader. A lot of people have complained about the SD card reader. I get it. I guess I was planning to do USB-C to USB and then plug an SD adapter into it. I can see how that's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but whatever. It's you're either interested in getting it, I guess, or you're not. So those are things to consider, I guess, if you're looking at this. Likewise, I was very concerned. My second biggest concern is the fact that there obviously is no breakaway cable. The charging cable is just a straight up USB-C. So I'm sure other people have mentioned this, but I don't know how many times I've had somebody trip on the cord or walk by, and having that breakaway cable, it just, it's a non-issue because it just falls out. Belkin, I think, is making a USB-C breakaway cable, but if you look at reviews on Amazon, they're not really that positive. It works, technically. I mean, it does break away, but you still have the USB connected, and then there's a breakaway further down the cable, so it's not going to destroy your MacBook if somebody runs into it, but apparently it falls out all the time. So just, something to think about. I really don't know why Apple didn't come up with a breakaway cable, even if it was an aftermarket option, when they introduced the new MacBooks. I feel like there are going to be people with horror stories about how somebody tripped over the cord, especially since it's a shorter cord, and broke their $3,000 investment. So that's all. If you have other comments, questions, anything else I can follow up on, please let me know. Again, I don't work for Apple. I'm not a die-hard Apple fanboy necessarily. I like their products. I think that they make my productivity, they improve my productivity significantly. But I mean, I certainly have criticisms of this model. I've had criticisms of every Apple computer I've ever owned. I've had criticisms of every PC I've ever owned. Nothing has ever met my needs 100%, but I think that this gets close enough that I'm happy with my purchase so far. Thanks. Bye-bye.